got the Baron.
Well, we've all let the nerves calm down after that last one. All the testosterone, all the bloody adrenaline, it's all gone. It's all out of here. And we're coming back, feet on the ground. We're leveled, we're based, and we're ready for the final game of the day. And now we are asking the question, Mammoth, they're on a win streak for the first time in a while, and they might be able to put three together because they're going up against Direwolves here who haven't had a good run for the start of the LCO for 2022. But Rusty, tell me, what are we looking at for Mammoth today? Where are they going to win this through?
Yeah, look, Mammoth back-to-back wins last week, like you mentioned, one against Pentanet.gg. Definitely awakened the beast over there, but they did get the dub beforehand. It was a lot through mid, right? It was a lot through having a super carry performance from Refury in both victories, to be perfectly honest with you. Even in the post-game interview, I think it was with Tron, they were like, thank God, it was with Voice rather, they're like, thank God our mid laner showed up to play. And they were right. You know, he put on a huge carry performance in both respective victories. Voice, I think, has been a little bit shaky here and there, but can be a consistent late-game team fight carry for them. And Tron started to actually find the flank smack. That was the biggest thing for Mammoth. They started to actually find the flank angles, and life isn't just 5 meatballs running straight down mid lane until it works. There is the depth, and once they got that, they got the dubs.
Yeah, big ults with the Vlad, big ults with the Gnar, and Man was just always in the right spot. So I'm looking at that top lane to be maybe the strong point for Mammoth. And the other thing as well is I have heard that Voice also plays Zeri. So maybe we're in for a third game of Zeri action darting around the rift. Now, team number 2, of course, is Direwolves. So we've got to talk them. Things have not been going right, but a lot of people are just waiting for this cocoon to sort of hatch, right, Skimmy?
Yeah, they would have had a huge trial by fire last week. They took on Peace, they took on PGG, they tried. First of all, first iteration was a full wombo combo composition. There were moments, but not enough consistency and enough against PGG. Didn't find the real threats there either. So they'll be coming into this one, looking to try and derail the hype train, the momentum that Mammoth are bringing up. Obviously, they've taken down some big teams, so I was saying, well, we deserve to be in that discussion as well. And I'm really curious because I look at mid lane in particular. Kyose, once again, we bring up this discussion. Maybe we've oversold the point about, you know, these enchanters and whatnot, but he is the player. If there was ever a time to see a Lux mid, to see the Karma mid, it would be him. But he's insane on the mages as well. Definitely not shabby on the LeBlanc in particular. So I'm very curious how he's going to approach this mid lane matchup because Refury, as we heard from his own interviews, is playing out of his mind. He's leading a lot of the stats for that team. So how does Kyose look to try and counterbalance that?
Well, I think the answer we saw earlier is Soraka. So maybe that'll come through. Who knows? However, we do have Kitty to bring into the conversation. And I believe you've got some players waiting on the sidelines.
Yep, so I finally got hold of Refury and Zoranus for this interview. Hello, Refury. Hello, Zoranus. Starting off with Refury. Hello. Congrats on the 2-0 and an amazing week on the Corki and Chinamir. From a previous interview with Voice, he mentioned that you are the main shot caller and carry. Being put in that position of being the main shot caller and carry, does that put any extra pressure on you, and do you have any expectations to meet?
Yeah, as the mid laner, like, you know, it's kind of easier for me to talk in the game about comms and like where everything's going because I'm kind of centered inside the map. But yeah, it's a team game and I'm just talking and, you know, the boys are receiving and that's just how it goes.
Gotta always trust the boys. Well, we've got Zoranus on the side. Welcome. You are the most anticipated player coming into the new patch with the introduction of Janna, top lane. I caught you playing some enchanters in solo queue. Is there any chance that we will be seeing Smite Janna top being played by Direwolves?
Look, I can't spoil anything, but I will say, like, I've been struggling with getting ganked recently, as you might have seen in my games. So I figured, why not just play roaming top, and then you can't get ganked if you don't lane.
You know, instead of getting ganked, you do the ganking. But someone else who's also excited for tonight's game, Reviewer, let's bring it back to you. So, we saw your interview with the coach. You guys actually performed better with less expectations heading into PGG's game compared to Gravitas. Will this be the case for you guys after 2 convincing victories?
As you know, we're kind of a development team, so we're trying our best, trying to learn new things here and there. Like even though the PG game we won, there was huge mistakes. You probably could have seen, and we go back to the drawing board and get those fundamentals down, because each game's just like another game when we step to improvement. But to get as good as we can. But hopefully, if you saw the C9 game where they picked Fudge pick Ivan mid, could be something coming up.
No spoilers, but last question for Zoranus. You went undefeated in the Oceanic Champion Series in 2020. What's been the biggest difference playing in the OCS and LCO?
Probably the biggest thing is the teammates. In the OCS, I was basically permanently weak side. So now, as I'm moving up, I have the chance to explore both playstyles of strong side and weak side.
Well, I'm excited to see what you guys have in store for today. Best of luck in your match, and thanks for the interview, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So cute.
No worries.
That's his brand. That is his brand now. He's just the happy wave man.
Yeah, he's loving it. I love how excited he is when he's on the webcam. But it's also because his webcams work, and we've tried for the last couple of weeks to get those interviews. And it's working. He's sorted out his technical issues, and we get to have a chat with him. Zoranus as well. Kitty, you can't just leak their strats live in the interview, especially when they're sitting
He's
just
playing
there.
it in solo queue. It's not. Drac has been saying that when are you going to play Yumi top? When are you going to play Janna top? It's on me. It's Dracu, okay? It's not me.
Okay, well, I'll blame Dracu for that one too. Now, let's talk about who's going to get the dub, because I want to see who's a believer here on the desk. I know, I'm going to put it out there, I'm a believer. I'm a fan. I've gone with the tusks up, and Kitty's with me. Okay, let's go. Skimmy, all right, come on. Save yourself. Why have you gone for DW?
Look, I just thought if there was ever a team that would lock in some crazy champions, it would have been Direwolves. So I've just all in on the hype of what could be.
Okay.
They might not do it, and I might look like a clown, but look, I'm all in for those kind of trades. Give me something spicy. I'm looking at Zoranus' profile, right? He has been playing with Smite top, so if we were to see it, what a fitting way to end this day.
Okay, Rusty, what about you?
Well, I haven't got
believer
one.
in the favourites?
I haven't got one right today, Max, so I don't know what I believe in anymore.
Oh, very true.
I'm just going to...
Oh, look, we're even.
Listen, I'm going to throw a curveball out. I'm going to say that Direwolves, they've got someone that's named after a dog. They've got someone that looks like they could be a wolf. Mammoth don't have anyone that looks like they're going to be a mammoth. So I always favour the Bulldogs team in that respect.
That's a hot take right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Up the doggies, so they say around these parts. Now,
Analysis.
12-7. This isn't too bad. Skimmy, you've also got Kitty catching up to you, so you had a chance to pull away.
I did.
But bit of a split up there.
I know, yeah, we decided to go opposite ways, and then Kitty says, come back right here. We had a competition all of last split, didn't we? And then in the end, it became the biggest talking point, right? Which cast had the biggest brain? So I guess we'll get to see what happens this time.
Look, I feel like I'm just starting to go for the underdogs at the right moment, because I'm still even with Rusty.
They're all winning.
Lots of upsets,
all
lots
winning.
of crazy games. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Now, Kitty, tell me, what lanes are we going to see Mammoth win through?
Obviously, Ree Fury is probably their biggest carry we've seen so far. But Voice, even though he said he played bad in his previous game, I think he's still someone to look out for.
Okay. Well, fortunately, we can do a little bit of looking now, because we get to jump off the broadcast and watch this one from the sidelines. It is Mammoth. It is Direwolves. Who's going to take the dub? Find out now.
Well, Rusty, it was always going to be a tall order to try and eclipse what we just saw only moments prior, but I feel like based on what could happen in this draft, there is still a lot to be hyped and excited for, as Mammoth will take the blue side, and the Janna is being teased.
Oh, he's gonna hover him.
There is no world in which you first pick it, but on a red side in 5th and final pick, hey, there's a
look,
chance.
Definitely possible. I mean, I'm not surprised Zoranus hovers them. Kyose may do the same thing. He's a cheeky devil over there. Zeri also is going to be banned, so Voice, no shot. Corky also going to be banned. So 2 champions that we saw along with the Caitlyn in the last game all go back to normality, I think it's fair to say, and they're just going to be seen on the ban list, which means we will be back to our regularly scheduled Senna, Jinx, Jin type gameplay The center and the Jinx are going to be the two ADs of choice this time around. Mammoth have already shown that they have no hesitations with just straight up locking in the Tryndamere. This kind of removes the possibility of the Ivan mid lane that they joked about. So yeah, this is much more standard.
Last time they did that Tryndamere, it was into the Corki matchup, and they had a Viego as their jungler. So obviously that's been denied. They're going to go for the Diana instead for that split damage. Direwolf's going to answer back though with the Rise.
Okay. Rise is, I think it's a decent pick, right? Phase Rush Rise can handle a lot of the early laning phase of a Tryndamere. Zoran is also a Camille player, so if they really wanted to as well, Camille into the Tryndamere top lane. It's not objectively winning, but you can hookshot to safety through most laning phase. And that kind of rounds out their composition pretty nicely if that Trynd is indeed flexible. I don't know if it is, though, based off what we've seen from Tron the Pom so far. I think he's much more of the Gragas Gnar Scion 5-head player. Interesting bans here though, Skimmy, so far. The Nautilus ban being thrown into a Lulu ban. They really just want to get rid of the opposite type of supports from one another right now. If it's a Nautilus, then it's a Leona, if you're going to commit to that path. And a Lulu would be a Karma.
Might as well just clear them all off the board. Fresh, Nautilus, get Leona too. And start digging deep into other champions these support players have prepped and ready to go. It's going to be the Zillion, which is another unique pick that we've, I suppose it's on the fringe of when is it ever going to be played here, but certainly has a case to be made that could be very strong for Mammoth's comp so far.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, we know that Rocco is a Zillion player. It's going to be Janna taken off the board here as well, so Mammoth just do not want a lick of it. No shot is Zoran is going to be playing Smite Janna top.
Karma's still there.
Karma's still there. Janna is the GOAT, though, when it comes to being a cheeser in top lane.
He can just completely send it and play a Quinn. It won't be a Smite top, but it'd definitely make Tryndamere's life hell.
Can you imagine Tryndamere goes top and Yuumi goes top to match it? Like, on what planet?
I think we'll just walk away. We've let the game
I
happen.
might leave.
No commentary required, just ASMR stream. But it has been locked in. It won't be the Zeri pairing, but let's just say it's a Yuumi Jinx for the meantime. Let's not lose our minds just yet. They've got the Wombo combo. Yasuo, Diana.
Okay, so this does actually confirm that Tron's going to be playing top Tryndamere. This comes back to just Camille, and I think the Direwolves are pretty happy with their composition. But listen, you don't know with Direwolves.
Will we get the fasting center, or will we get the traditional center? That is the question now, as Tahm Kench is locked in.
I mean, it's most likely going to be the farming Tahm Kench you would expect. Still waiting to see what Direwolf's last pick is going to be. If it's Lissandra, there's actually a higher chance that it's Ryze top lane, Lissandra mid.
Sure.
And now that we have the matchup shown in mid lane as well, the Yasuo Diana combo, you can Lissandra ultimate yourself if you're quick, right? You can dodge out on a lot of that damage. Where the Ryze is much more of a threat of dying. Jinx Yuumi into a Senna Tahm Kench bot lane though. I feel like Senna and TK pretty happy with that matchup. I feel like mid's got a very strong 2v2 overall. And then top lane in its 1v1 is the real question mark. But you would say the more time that passes in the game, Skimmy, the happier a Tryndamere should be.
Sure. Very curious about this bot lane, because it would feel like a bit of a free lane, given that you do have the Jinx Yuumi for them to play around. So we'll get to see which variation of that bot lane they go for. But for sure, if there was ever any time to, take a breather, re-energize yourself, and then jump straight back into the action. I mean, both of these drafts are going to be anything but passive. Certainly very keen to get themselves in the mix of things. But it's going to be all about how Direwolves can weather the storm of what was a terrifying Tryndamere combination from Mammoth last time. It will be in different hands this time, though. It is a top lane Tryndamere. But what we have learnt, Rusty, is that he's good at flanking, and Tryndamere's great at doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Tryndamere is going to have a lot of flank opportunities. Also, the fact that it was flexible with Refury is maybe a nice little draft development that we can now learn from Mammoth as well. We'll see how the hands match, however, the carry of the mid laner here for Mammoth. Loving the combo that they've gone for. I think their draft overall is super powerful. Really important that Mayfun does well though. If he falls behind, they have no magic damage left in their composition. So you want to see the Diana put in some work, hard farm up level 6, and just make it happen. On the other side of the coin, Direwolves, they've got scaling pretty much everywhere, I would say. Skimmy, and I'm not entirely sold on how their team fights will look just yet, but at the end of the day, Jinx gets excited. Lissandra gets passive resets as well from the exact same thing. And Yuumi keeping them all alive through the burst, that's going to be the play.
It may be the play to give them that perfect run if you are a Mammoth fan. Bear in mind, they're 2-0 at the moment, and they could look to go that much further. As for Direwolves, a chance for them to pull away from the bottom of the leaderboard. Let's get ourselves excited here for the final game of the day, opening up week 3. And as we do, once again, checking with one of the coaches as we bring Coach Ash from the side of Mammoth back onto the show. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, doing really well, doing really well. Obviously not as good as you guys though, because, I mean, what a week the team had. Perfect 2-0. We were looking at some of the stats before and saying, there's only been a handful of 2-0 weeks for Mammoth in recent years. So, I mean, do we need to temper our expectations? Like, how do you plan to harness that momentum?
Yeah, look, at the moment, we're just taking that momentum to keep learning. Like, a lot of people might have noticed, you know, yes, we played better than PGG last Monday, but we still have a lot to learn. A week like that, at the end of the day, also means, you know, like, people might not underestimate us as much, so we just have to keep, you know, keep improving and shake our inconsistencies. We'll see where we go.
Yeah, it seemed to be a message from Coach Rowe as well when he came on last week about working on the fundamentals and that just being still the clear objective. So I'll leave you with a closing question. You know, at what point does the team start to believe their own hype? Are they still keeping humble and saying, you know, a good week, but let's not get over our heads?
It's a good question, and it's still kind of hard to answer. You know, going 2-0 isn't exactly indicative of anything major, right? We don't want to start hitting the, oh my god, how good are we guys? But also at the same time, you know, we just went 2-0. How good are we? Let's find out.
Hey, that's a perfect answer, and I appreciate your time as always, Ash. Best of luck for this week, eh?
Thank you. Catch you guys later.
Nothing massive, Miss Skimmy, while we were talking to Ash. Just looking at the pretty basic stuff when it comes to laning phase. Tahm Kench Center, you would expect to get bodied out a little bit early here, right? Double range champions. Tahm Kench pretty solid all in though.
Oh, how about that?
Oh,
Yubis will dive in. Yuumi can't dash. But they're going to turn it around! And they're both going to answer back. Thankfully for both the AD carries, they are the ones that pick up those kills.
Yeah, I mean, the Tahm Kench just uses the W and it actually cancels Bulldog. I'm not sure if he hopped out into that one. I didn't get to see exactly that part of it, but the Yuumi getting caught, the Yuumi getting CC'd means cannot re-attach. Made fun.
A flash, a stun, a dash away back to the Gromp, and Goodo.
Hey!
Well, that's just cheeky.
Made fun wins
smite.
these, huh?
Thanks for the smite, thanks for the leash, and yeah, cheers for burning your flash.
Mischief managed. Time wasted from Goodo there as well. He's going to be the slight level lead and the free reset to the Diana. We'll be able to just reset to the bottom side of the map in saying that no camps currently up left to clear. We've got a Yuumi roaming at level 2 for whatever reason. Just because the Jinx wasn't on the map, perhaps just protecting the Scuttle Crab. You would expect that the Diana does go there though. Not at the pacing with which that sweeper went off, however.
Well, it is going to be the farming center, so perhaps still on this patch before she does get changed. That is going to continue to be the trend. So AD carries get to have fun with it for just a fraction longer. It's still going to be the fleet footwork, so you'd imagine a Kraken Slayer is going to come out through, but I mean, you just look at this and it just feels a little bit reminiscent of their initial game to kickstart their campaign this year, right, Rusty? Just full-on wombo combo. It feels, I don't want to say disrespectful, but it just shouldn't happen if the Dyna's been locked in and you can get away with the Yasuo.
Yeah, so the thing is, and like, it's a fair question to ask, like, why did Yasuo just get let through for free? In my mind, and I said this during the draft, Skimmy, I wasn't sure that Tron was a Tryndamere player. And I guess the fact that they did have that as a flex pick might have surprised Direwolves as well, because that was news to me. So the Tryndamere obviously does get locked in here and flexed, which means they're 4/5 bands that go towards the support role. Yasuo does give them that wombo, like you said. It's funny because Direwolves are also obviously familiar with the wombo themselves.
Sure.
See how they play into it though. Lissandra is a pre-rehearsed, pre-planned pick. Kyose has a wildly large and odd champion pool. Is also 1 week away from having his Ari back. Low-key will be playing that one, guaranteed.
That's a very good point. Same for Chungy as well, no doubt.
True.
Are you excited to see Ari back?
I think I like the changes they made, honestly. Like, if anything was going to change on Ari, a reset on the ult is a cool way to do it. Just, I think the rest of her cooldowns are so obnoxiously low that it's not just about the ultimate. You don't need 5 charms in a fight.
Here's a charm though. Jonas walks out to clear vision and then realizes there's a jungler in the area. That's not a good talking point, but Tron the Pom is burnt Ghost, so we take those.
Yeah, the old phase rush rise does wonders. Trade potentially happening in bottom lane here as well, but Kench not looking to commit to that one. The Ignite's still on the cards for both supports down here, so kill threat's still super high. You can see that Frosts and Bulldog are starting to run away with the prio in this lane just a little bit more, which is kind of what you're after, right? If you can keep the center and the Kench busy with the wave, then they're not going to be busy hitting you. Mid lane, you can see a big trade here, but no one should be dying from this one. I would personally say, Skimmy, that I would rather be the Yasuo than the Lissandra in the 1v1. It just gets a bit dicey when junglers start to get involved, right? The CC chain is just too easy to hit.
Well, the jungle won't be in the area anytime soon. Although I say that, and now Gudo pops his head into the mid lane with a Yuumi attached, a very early roam to allow Frost some single XP. What can he do in a 1v2 situation? The opportunity cost is, can we find this kill to make sure it is a net worth gain? They've spotted out Mayfun. Now, do they have the vision? Well, this is going to be a three-way collapse, and can Mayfun just flash away? He's been exhausted, he's going to fall on down, and the kill is going to go into the hands of Gudo.
He was considering it, wasn't he? The flash over that wall might have actually purchased him a lot of distance, but no blast cone left because that was how they got over the wall. Means the flash, which is on cooldown for Gudo, might have been mistimed. And listen, he's just going to save it regardless. You want to hit level 6 as Diana, I think it's a fair decision to say keep the flash for the first play. And so a kill goes the way of Direwolves, and a very free kill at that.
Big kill for them. I guess the question you ask now is that worth, given what Frost had to return back to base, feeling too much pressure from the 1v2 situation. Only down 10 CS, so maybe not the worst.
Actually, one really big thing to highlight here, Skimmy, that I hadn't noticed is that Refury's gone for the cleanse in mid lane. The most Yasuos you'll see have like exhaust or ignite. Some of them, real cheeky, will have a teleport to match their opponents. You know, a Lissandra will have that. But the cleanse in this lane means that if you do get ult comboed, you can just immediately cleanse it. He's just going to ult for damage.
Yeah. It looks to me as if Kyose is really holding that ult to the very last minute, either for Tara aggro or for a bait with jungle assistance, as you highlight before. But Gudo, once again, is on the run elsewhere.
I like that actually from Refury, the ultimate for damage, knowing Kyose has no teleport, so his health is effective and on the map presently. Bulldog needs to be careful. Gudo just revealed himself as well. You can see the trade happening on the other side of the map. This is a 2v3 if they choose to stay at the turret, and they do.
Well, they're going for it. Bulldog's going to soak up a whole bunch. He takes an ignite to the head as well. Immune whilst chilling here with Frost. Will still cop that damage, but he's going to ensure they can get some work done with this wave. Just missed that second plate. Mayfun's happy because they've picked up their Herald, and now they're just diving towards Kyose, who's already burnt the ult, Rusty. He's in a lot of trouble. He needs to get aggro onto Refury. A beautiful flash away. As clean as it comes, but there's a minion wave. And now he's running.
Oh, no.
And he has done it. And Refury's ankles have been broken.
Just shattered. Both ankles completely gone. Kyose can just have a laugh, push mid-wave out with Gudo, and easy as you'd like. Go back to base. He's earned it. just ruins Refury. Wishes he had Ignite, Skibby. Wishes he had Exhaust to close the distance, but it was the cleanse. And we didn't see how the ult was used, but like you highlighted, both Summoner and Ultimate are gone. And that bottom dive that happened just seconds prior as well. It's really hard to go onto a Tahm Kench in a center. If you commit to the play, they can CC lock you down pretty easily. And so it really was just harassed from Gudo, trying to maybe push them away from the wave. Nothing happens from it.
Only really gets worse, right? Once Rocky gets his ultimate, Devour Bunny even more time, then an insane second life bar, really, with the shield that comes across. Not the ganking angle that they were after. I'll wait and see if we do get a replay for what happened in the mid lane, but as it stands, Frost has the most gold in the game, which is nice. He's clawed back a huge deficit on this CS. Aggression in mid lane, the turnaround, Frozen Tomb locks in place the Yasuo. He has no summoners, they burn it all in that previous trade. Electrocute proc, a prowling projectile, and they guarantee that it does go into the hands of Lissandra.
And it's a hard life being a Yasuo. When you really think about it, I said it was maybe Yasuo favored in a 1v1 sense. It's just fun to be the Yasuo in that 1v1. The second someone else gets involved, Lissandra is a terror. It just CC locks you, keeps you down. And Yasuo, the reason it's so difficult is you don't have an escape response. You have to fight your way out of every situation. Gudo perhaps look for a flank here.
Here we go. I'm sure he wants an escape right now. There's a Devour, and an Abyssal Dive that gets cancelled! Rooted by the Yuumi! Oh, it's beautiful. It looks so good for Mammoth, but one tick too many, and it stopped.
Yeah, I mean, cute attempt from Mammoth. Honestly, Rocco tries to save the jungler. They try to go together. Lissandra, the re-engage.
In goes Kyosei, two-man center route, and an exhaust on towards Mayfan. Here comes Refury right now. He has the ult. Last breath is there. So one man out on towards Gudo, who's got the heals from the Yuumi. Bulldog pops out, gets a shield, gets Mana, and then jumps back on through there, winning the war of attrition. The Dawning Shadow from Voice to buy time for him, as well as the Yasuo. But they are just falling in multiple 1v1s, and Direwolves will get multiple kills and a second Drake.
Refury dies to respawn into dying again. That is just not the way that you want it to go. But Yasuo, you know how with certain champions like Kayle, you count to 16, Kassadin, you count to 16. Yasuo, we're 3 out of 10. Definitely 7 more deaths on board for him until he is truly powerful. That is science. But it is still Direwolves that are going to be winning and have control of the map right now, almost entirely. Big Lissandra able to influence the map. Yuumi Lissandra low-key scary. And they just didn't have enough damage, Mammoth, to actually burst anyone out. When you've got the heals, you've got the shielding there that comes from the support of the Direwolves. But Voice is 2-0. Voice wins the 1v1 against Frost. He is still doing what he can.
Oh yes, he's got 29 stacks, and he's just picked up a boatload of gold before those plates fall on down. Let's run it back again, because this fight really was all over the show.
Yeah, Voice gets caught, has to cleanse flash. He's out of the fight. Mayfun exhausted, waits for it to end before trying to go in, but Frost with a sick flash. The timing was perfect. It means that the resets are on. Now, Frost could just run away here and look at Refury, but tries to get greedy, thinks he's got enough to take down Voice. Wasn't actually that close. And like we were saying before, Yasuo's only options for escape are to go forwards. And venturing into the unknown is terrifying when it is a Lissandra that will lock you down.
Sure, Frost is pretty frustrated from that one. He tried to sidestep the ult from center, but still gets clipped, even taking a very side angle towards it. Regardless, we are going to return to the scene of the crime. Bot lane is where we go. The plates are about to fall on down, so that is the initial play. Let's get a turret, but how about instead we just win a team fight as well? An Abyssal dive from Gudo, who is become the Tahm Kench and shows them how to engage and ensures that Frost gets a double, Gudo gets another, and between them they've got 8.
And Direwolves look very good with the lead, Skimmy. That is probably the biggest takeaway that I have so far from this game. Whenever they're ahead, they look commanding. They know what to do around the map. Top is stable. We haven't really seen anything from Zoranus or Tron the Pom yet. A couple of plates. What is that noise?
I have no idea, and I was going to ask you.
Please stop. Diego recall?
It's nightmare feel, I'll tell you that much.
He honks? Ah, it's weird, man.
Got some emote abusers. Well, I'm glad we won't have to hear that. Unless it happens again, hey, but...
If Diego honks...
We gotta find out which one that is exactly.
Kratos was right. The year of the goose.
He was so confident as well. He really... I've researched it. It's true. 100% based.
You might have five-headed all of us. Nevertheless, Direwolves with agency to the objective. It's very difficult now for Mammoth. You'd expect to contest this one. Senna staying bottom after all, and Senna is most of their money. You could bring the Tryndamere into the fight if you wanted, but then you'd also be including the Rise, who is pretty strong himself. So I think you just trade the objectives as you're seeing now. Zoran is not going to get here in time to defend this one, though I think a well-timed Rise ultimate would have actually put a lot of work in there on Voice, but he doesn't know where the rest of the team were. Right, the Diana, the Taumkench, the looming threats that he's now seen one of.
Yeah.
Needs to respect.
Does have some very defensive warding between his blue buff and the Pixel Brush and River, but certainly wasn't going to take any chances here. He's got himself a nice, nice little lead, scaling into infinity. Doesn't really need to worry about the Beyond because at the moment, the major threat is the Senna. Perhaps you can make a statement for the Tryndamere as well, but at least for the Wombo combo mid-jungle, their attempts have been thwarted.
Tronding. There's a lot of trouble here. Taumkench actually ults to get him over that wall. I guess he didn't have the dash.
Yeah,
and it is better than using a summoner.
Can't use that though, so yeah, no dash, so...
By the way, he will be able to get out with his life intact. Objective already secured. Drake up in 30 seconds, Kimmy. It'll be the third of the game. Oh, he's got a creature when he recalls.
The Observer's absolutely smurfing.
We'll see what happens bottom. This is actually something that I highlighted just before. Skimmy Voice needed to be super careful. He obviously wasn't. Cleanse was used and he was punished for it. There's a level 12 Rise against a very low level Senna. I mean, you can tell from experience alone what they're capable of, even if it was a 2-1 Senna. Still fragile in the face of a Rise.
He certainly wasn't going to waste time engaging once he had the vision, right? He knows it's going to be that 1v1. Takes him down with conviction. This is looking like a very scary Rise so far early on. Third Drake of the game. Direwolves already have two. In jumps the Moonfall, onto two. Last breath, Wombo combo, can they find it? They found one. Finally, vengeance towards this Kiyose. It's a 2-for-2 so far. Tryndamere enters the action. He's getting that shut down, but Frost, a little bit too strong. And Zoranis picks up a double. Both, in fact, get a double, which gives them the ace.
Yeah, Drake going to be secured mid-outer turret, probably pushed here as well, Skimmy, as a result of that fight, just going wildly successfully for Direwolves. Frost against the old organization shows them no quarter. Be able to pick them apart in that team fight. You can see the damage dealt. Kiyose definitely put in some serious work. I would imagine his passive played a part in that one, but it does go unnoticed. And the combo is what starts this off, so we'll look at it first. Mayfun not really finding the mark yet again. There were some flashes used to dodge out of it, to be fair, but at the same time, like, if you don't hit multiple people with it, you just get run over, and that was a very big jinx that you cannot disrespect. That was a hard force. I don't think that's ever actually the right play, unless the force is onto specifically the carries.
Frustration there for the center, right? You need so much more time before we can really be an even threat, but this jinx is just snowballed out of control. And it's been interesting, right, looking at Frost's playstyle, because he has been, he's been very smart and calculated. Hasn't been the most, you know, risk-taking of an AD carry player, but certainly finds the mark when called upon. And in tandem, Frost and Goodo definitely giving a bit of a how are ya to the team of old.
And Refury being 1-4 on this Yasuo doesn't really have the privilege of playing with his team unless there is an objective on the board. He's sitting in side lanes. Styles recognizing, of course, they're going to go for the bot lane in a turret. Normally, you would say it's not worth it to trade objectives evenly. The Direwolves have so much pressure. I think opening up the map here is pretty valid. And it was just an outer turret that fell, right? Like, it wasn't the threat of a second turret. But generally speaking, just equal trades, not good for a team that is winning.
What's a 6k lead found for Direwolves, and it's only going to continue to grow unless they can claim this all-important bounty on towards Frost, who's in a whole world of trouble right now. Burns double summoners, and he's just gone.
Think so?
Oh no. The fadeaway? That's yuck.
It was Tron the Pom that was the fool after all.
Catch me if you can.
One team has a Yuumi. The Gale Force was nice to get over the Jinx traps and still apply damage. He did crit, but the Gale Force was matched. Rocco.
Oh, the double back. Direwolves feigning the Baron. The Heartbreaker does not get connected on because that's going to be a moonfall to them trying to turn the tide of this battle. Good are going to get the kill, but fall on down. Yasuo with a second kill to his name. Now Mayfan enters the mix by getting his first kill too. Zoranis in a whole world of trouble. He's 3-0 so far. It's a bit of a tanky rise, but he dies! And now Bulldog is left to the Wolves. They lose the Tahm Kench, but they'll be very content taking out 4.
Yeah, they'll just hit the full combo. I mean, easy stuff here from Mammoth, right? They find the right target with this one. It was in defense of Rocco. They're able to net themselves a really important teamfight victory. Kyosei sees Refury leave.
He wants a one-shot. He really wants to try and take them out underneath this turret. The aggro device is gone!
He gets both.
No!
Oh.
Double stasis, you're kidding me? Line it up, Evan Frost, and another clip it, ship it,
Got him.
Kyosei. The absolute Giga Chad.
How many ankles could one man break in a game? He's sitting in a bush with a control ward. He sees Refury leave and just confidence takes the 1v2. Everyone turns golden, but only one of them can turn golden twice, Gimme, and that's it. Cheeky little 1v2 there from the mid laner of the Direwolves, and you can see why this team has such high potential and high variance, even if they're 1-3 right now.
Unbelievable tech to go for the stopwatch into the zone, just to say I can remain immune just a fraction longer than you. This justifies the hype of this team. Individual moments of brilliance like that. And now they return back to the Baron and they pick it up candidly.
Red team has slain Baron.
What a moment.
That was funny. We get to see this again, Voice. Still a very squishy champion. Uses the W onto the Lissandra, perhaps not expecting the core to be followed through. But it was absolutely followed through there and got him. Oh, didn't get him. Thumbs up for
Honestly,
good measure.
Play it back one more time. Bring in Juves. Run it back with his commentary.
I think he broke his ankles and his mental with that one.
Fantastic play. 20 kills to 8. And still a consistent 5k lead here for the Direwolves. 30 seconds and they get an Ocean Soul. So Mac will be happy. No Infernal here today. Had enough of those. Question does become though, will they entertain the idea of wrestling this mid lane control, or will they say, well, let's just use the Baron and split? I guess the answer is, we want to fight.
Now.
As Gudo jumps in, baits the ball into a false sense of security inside their own jungle. Final chapter locks in place too. Rocco with the Devour's not going to be enough. Mayfan with the Moonfall, but absolutely gets taken down. A shutdown found from Tron the Pom, but as the Undying range expires, it's soon to look like their chances of winning this team fight will too. Frost hits double digits, now with 11 kills.
Yeah, just like Voice's camera, Mammoth's chances starting to fade away. No shot in this one from the Baron onwards. Dragon to be secured is an Ocean Soul as well for good measure. And the thing is, with a Diana Yasuo combo, if you're using it at the very end of a team fight, it's desperate, right? There's no actual winning. Stopwatch was used, or Zonia's rather, by Mayfan. Tahm Kench eats him. It's a two-person ultimate, but Gudo's got the resets on the Viego, so he's not going to actually get stuck in the stasis. He becomes the Tahm Kench, and it's just clean from Kyosei and Gudo, right? Finding their targets and gives Frost all the space he could want.
How do you even look to try and answer back here with Voice? It's pure frustration. I mean, there's been a reason that this Jinx has been at the forefront of this meta for such a long time, and well and truly accelerated. Back to base, a BF sword and a stopwatch. And just in fact happens to be that the flash and the heal is there again, and it's going to be so hard to try and claim that bounty.
Oh, without a doubt. I think at this point, stopwatch, Yuumi existing, Ocean Soul, there's not a lot that you can do to kill the Jinx without the combo hitting, right? You have to connect the combo. And Frost is able to just play so methodically, so safe. He's got so many people to stand in front of him. Easier said than done. So Zoranus has gone for the tank Rise build, just so we're all aware and dealing with the Tryndamere.
Ron. Spin to win. No Baron buff, but they have an Ocean Soul instead, so it's time to siege.
I don't think they can really stop the sieging either. It's all about finding the clutch fight. Mayfun has flash, so a Diana going off the minions is probably the angle that they were after, but they lost their chance. Rocco.
Oh. Very close to the execute being found, but Frost might literally just 1v5 right now. Not a fear in the world, Ayumi on his head, and a lot of damage in the back pocket. One inhib is gone, and the second one is soon to feel the pressure of the supers coming on through. Pressure in the base and pressure in their face as they cop a bit of a beating, and the rest of Direwolves are topped up and full HP.
Direwolves not sure if they want to actually just push to end or not. They're going to pressure both lanes. Right now, if they were to play tutorial style, they would be resetting into a top push. So we'll see how they choose to play this one out. You've got a minute 50 on Baron, you've got 3 minutes on an Elder as well, so plenty of time to play the map as you would like if you are the Direwolves. And I think sitting in the base of Mammoth is just giving them needless opportunities, right? They're able to posture freely where you can't do anything about it. I feel like at this point we're just being BM.
Yeah.
We're just, like, they knew something, we did it, we're just being BM now. Like, obviously it's a dog.
It's a skin death.
Thanks.
Might be
Is that
one
in
of those,
TFT?
I don't think so. But I was going to say, it feels like a fitting narrative for one of those like clickbait YouTube articles. Diego LP hack. It's just the skin. You just tilt them.
Do you find it weird that Pokemon make noises instead of saying their names like they do in animated series?
Oh, it's true actually.
Weirds me out a little.
But what language would they speak?
They just say their name, don't they?
Even if
They're
they didn't.
Japanese.
True. That's a base take right there. Here we go, back to familiar territory. Direwolves working their way towards that third and final inhibitor. Definitely got Mammoth rocking at death's door. But Zoranus is not even here. He's out on a safari, roaming the land, and saying, don't worry, I'll be with you guys soon. Got a realm warp, got a TP.
I think he might have just taken a cheeky blue buff on the way through. Rise obviously liking that one. Still plenty of time left to work with these inhibitors. One of them is just going to be Baron in the top lane, is probably the free objective. This mid lane inhib being up in a minute, however, I think there's like one more wave of a super. And then they start to just become cannon. In saying that, if Direwolves get the Baron, there's not a lot that actually stops them from just straight up walking in. Zoranus has found all of Mammoth.
Yes, needs to be careful though, trying to palm on that flank! Oh. He's just dead, Rusty. There's no better way to say it. No flash, no undying rage, just gone. Now Voice flanking and buying time, but just meets an incredibly fed Jinx. And that's not a how are ya, that's potential pentakill being teased until Zoranus says, you know what, forget about it. It does not matter, it's another ace. And it's gonna be your base falling with minions, with us, and with a 29-minute victory.
And in the end, it is just going to be an easy victory here for Direwolves, right? They got their early leads. So something we said during the game as well is that when Direwolves had the lead, it never really looked like they were going to throw it away. There was that one hiccup moment, just when Mammoth got a bunch of shutdowns, got a bunch of gold, but at the end of the day, it was pretty easy from the Direwolves. The whole squad came together, worked around Frost, who had a pretty good performance in the AD carry role, but for me, it was Kiyose. For me, it was Gudo, right? They hit those skirmishes, they get those 2v2s. You pick the Diana Yasuo combo, they've got your measure. They know exactly what you're doing, and they meet you in the middle, and they beat you with it.
Exactly my point. They say, we played it before you. We know exactly what worked, and for us, it didn't. We fell down. We lost. So how about we just, flip the script in a reverse, if you like, and give you a taste of that medicine as well. So the Mammoth hype, for the meantime at least, has been dismantled. No chance for them to go 3-0 as it stands, but a much-needed win for Direwolves to claw themselves back into a position of power. Both teams now find themselves tied at 2-2. And Mac, I mean, definitely a game that certainly had a whole bunch of exciting action. Another game where, you know, 80 carries are just popping absolutely off.
Yeah, it seems to be bot lane mayhem today. Absolutely everyone having a scorcher for the most part. Even in the teams that lost, a lot of the time, those ADCs were just having a damn good game, and it felt like it was just all the other lanes that were the issue. But look at this, Kiyose. I love this. I could not have loved this anymore. The fact that he's just juking, dancing, dazzling, dipped up, diving, dodging. You name it, he's doing it, and he had a huge game. Outplays with the bloody Zhonya's into the stopwatch. Anything. This man, he has brought it to the table. Mechanics out the wazoo, and Direwolves playing what I would say is their best game yet, and stopping Mammoth from causing another upset. We had to just have that bloody audio
That's a
coming
highlight.
through, right? Big highlight. I'm glad that we got that one in there for everyone at home. Now, a quick fun fact as well from Statsman Casper out the back is that today has been the first day we haven't seen a Hextech Soul or a Hextech at all.
Great, at all.
Or Chemtech, because Chemtech's banned at the moment. So it was just all Earth, Ocean, and Infernal. So it was a pretty nuts
Oh, we had
day.
no cloud as well.
Yeah, no cloud either. So it was just a 3 Drake day, which is very interesting. Usually, you know, over the span of 4 games, you would expect to see a bit more variety. At least we didn't get that Infernal Soul. We did move over to the Ocean, finally, for game number 4 of the day.
Oh, yeah, it's very odd that we only had 3 dragons total, given that 3 have to spawn in every single game, and there was 4 games. But nevertheless, this one was a pretty easy soul once again secured. A lot of teams playing around those souls, but good stuff from Direwolves, Mac. It's hard to fault how they played, really, and
Yeah.
the highlights for me are the ankle-breaking moves that we're seeing from the mid laner of Direwolves, and I think that's a really nice example of the ceiling that we believe this team could have. It's something that we said at the very start of the day, Mac.
Yeah, and something that I've been saying over the last couple of weeks, I've called on a few people that have all stepped up to the plate today. Frost is another one of them. I was saying, you know, I feel like he wasn't getting as involved as we were seeing from him last year, but today is like stock standard Frost that you expect in the Rift, and he played out of his mind. So maybe don't let this team pick up the Yuumi, because Yumi's been picked, what, twice now, and we got 2 dubs. So it seems to be an O special, maybe.
Yeah, quick maths.
I hope not.
2 games, 2 wins. It's broken. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was only a matter of time right before Frost popped off, because he was playing very consistently. And, you know, we were giving a hard time to Kiyose because we know what he can do, right? So there's a lot of emphasis on him. And, like, honestly, if he's not the MVP, he's being scammed. So many individual moments of brilliance.
And he's also been pretty unhappy looking in his player cam, but today he was outmaneuvering, outschooling, outplaying, and outsmiling everyone else. He was having a great time there. Someone else that was having a great time on the sidelines was Kitty. We were enjoying watching that game. Now tell me, Kitty, what are your thoughts on that one, and how happy are you for the Direwolves?
Well, I was impressed by Frost and Kiyose, especially Kiyose with his 2 plays in the mid lane. That was absolutely nuts. But for the interview, I have decided to grab the GOAT, Bulldog on the cat. Hello, Bulldog. How are you feeling wrapping up day 1 with a win?
It feels good. It feels good. We haven't felt this way in a while, but like it feels good, you know what I'm saying?
I do sure know what you are saying, but let's talk about drops. So, Mammoth banned Lulu and Janna against Styles because obviously Zorinus has been spamming that in solo queue. Why did you opt into a Yuumi to pair with the Jinx?
Those Shanna and Lulu's Nuffles are in it. That will all me, baby. Come on now. Put some respect on my name. But we picked Yuumi because we knew that they were going to pair center with time, and it was just a free scaling lane, and I beat their ass.
You sure did. And talking about the team fights, which carry had the honor to have Bulldog Yuumi attached onto them, and why did you choose to sit on them?
Well, I think it was because, you know, Godo had the privileges to have me on him, but he entered, so I went on Frost, and then we won the game.
Frost also had an amazing game on the Jinx. Well, congrats on your win, Bulldog. It's always nice interviewing you, and have a good night's rest for tomorrow.
Thank you. Have a good night. You too, the casters.
This man, is
So good.
gold. We love
Oh.
him. I hope Twitch chat loves him because everyone needs to love this man. He is a great personality, and I'm damn excited to see what else he can do throughout this split of the LCO. You know, it is his debut. Man's having a damn good time in the bot lane, at least today. You know, he's had a few iffy ones, but I guess the whole team has, so it's good to see what potential is there for him, at least with his little kitty cat. Now, of course, we do have a player of the game, and absolutely no surprises. You've already thrown it out there. It is the big man in the middle. It's Kyose coming in clutch, dodging everything that was coming towards him, and then just outplaying, even having a little cheeky bit of fun there too. So, look, you can't fault him. 20 assists as well. This man was everywhere, Skimmy.
He was, honestly, a magnet to people wanting to try and take him down, because we were asking the question, right, during the draft, like, how does this really work when they all come together? But he said, no, this is how it works during laning phase. What you do is you force them to fight you, you somehow win, they do it again, you beat them again, and then at one stage you're just farming a highlight reel all from one game alone. So, yeah, Kyose can take a lot of confidence from this one, and look, the league just continues to get shaken up. We feel like we've cracked it after 1 week, and then it just gets completely flipped on its head as we start another.
It was just absolutely nuts. I thought, you know, when he did pick into the list, I was like, oh, all right, let's see what happens here. I remember him having a okay game on it, I think last year at some point, but I'm more so remembering for the LeBlanc and something that does a lot more like damage and very mobile. Although I guess the list is kind of mobile as well. But man knows how to play this game, and you can see, as you mentioned, it was just an absolute highlight reel, field day for him there in mid. And if we get that level of Kyose for the rest of the split, then Direwolves, they're going to be able to climb up that leaderboard in a spectacular fashion, Rusty.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, also remember that next patch, we have Kyose's favorite champion that he pretends he doesn't want to play anymore and then just insta-locks for weeks on end. Inari making a fantastic return to competitive League of Legends, so one of two players that are going to love that patch.
Yep.
So lots to look forward to for him if he's already playing this well without it.
Well, I guess we'll see if that is the case going forward, or if everyone's just going to be banning it away. However, we have a play of the day, and I actually have absolutely no idea what this one is, so let's take some guesses. Skimmy, what was your favourite?
Well, I've written down two that I think it could be. I mean, surely Cheon's pentakill is up there at the very top, because they get a Baron to steal the game in the most important game so far in the LCO, then the pen to the first one too. But there's a part of me that kind of just likes the idea of just seeing Kyose break ankles with double stopwatches.
Okay, what about you, Rusty? You just on the same board, on the same boat?
I would just commit to the piece, to the Cheon highlight reel, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it was the biggest game. Kitty, are you thinking the same thing?
Well, Cheon got the first penta we've seen in LCO, so it's probably going to be Cheon's penta.
Okay, well, look, you're all wrong. So wrong that you're right. It was actually Cheon's penta, so big congrats to the big man. Let's throw it up and live it back one more time, because it was insane. Although, quick little shout out to Lisa as well for getting this smite steal. Now, Rusty, run us through it.
I mean, this was a point in the game that was desperate, right? For Chiefs, they kind of did the do-or-die moment, and Cheon just waltzes on over. 14-1 Caitlyn, how do you do? And one hits literally everybody. And then the Infernal Soul with the Caitlyn ultimate. And the Elder Dragon burn. Just enough to get him a cheeky pentakill. But like you said, shout-outs Lisa. Also, shout-outs to the entire Peace gang, Mac. After this fight, I don't think I saw a single one of them in their chair except for Cheon trying to end the game.
Oh, Beats. Beats was at home.
I don't know, he might have been out of his chair running.
He could have been. He was out of his chair as well. Either way, it was exciting, it was entertaining, and it was a damn good game. And if Peace keep playing like that, not only did they get to go to Worlds, but they may get to go to MSI this split with a new look lineup. So I am happy with that. This day, I didn't know if it was going to be able to live up to what we got last week, because we had a couple of huge upsets, but then we got some big ones coming through today as well.
Yeah, we've had it all, really, haven't we? And it just begs the question now, sort of continuing some of those narratives going forward. The question still around teams like Kanga. You know, when will we finally see it all come together and mesh? Teams like PGG, they've utilized the solo queue style, and it just continues to work. Java now has to be a considered ban against them. Teams like, you know, Order as well, a few shaky games and a few pop-off games. And there's just so many interesting points that just dart across the league. And you just keep saying, you know, is it a split one angle? Or a lot of these teams is like, forget about it. Worlds is the ultimate prize, see you in split 2.
It's just one of those things, right? Now, apologies, my dog did just run into my room with muddy feet and put mud everywhere. So that's going to be fun for me after the show. But before we end the show, we've got to have a look back at what's happened and where all the teams are currently sitting on that leaderboard. So let's have a look at the standings. Are we clean yet? No, we still got a tie there in 4th place. A couple of teams on 2 and 3. That's Direwolves joining Mammoth after that W. Order down there as well after copping the L today. But we have a clear top 3, Rusty, and that is looking interesting to me.
Yeah, it definitely is, because nobody put Peace first. So Peace outright first place, Chiefs outright second, and Pentanet.gg with the bounce back from the largest L I think we've seen a team cop. Definitely bounce back with authority. Also bot at the bottom of the standings while, I don't know, I said bot lane almost. That's how much of a league nerd I am.
Yeah.
Gravitas beating Kanga today, I think would give them outright 7th really by the standings, because they'd have head-to-head so far. So it's only really the middle of the pack where I think there is that actual 3-way going on.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of fun, a whole lot of action. And I want to see more from Kanga as well, because they keep on having lackluster performances. They've got a lot of talent on that lineup, and it's just a matter of when they're going to be able to hit that trigger. It was like an only. He was stuck again. The only person for so long in that game that got any of those kills. Everyone else had big fat eggs in the kill column. And I know that they have the potential to get higher up, but at the moment, nothing is working out for them. At least there is every team with a W, so that is something else we can talk about as well. Kitty, any surprises here before we move along?
Can we talk about how Order is 4th? They were rated really high by everyone before the split started. I'm quite surprised by that, and also Kinga, but everything else looks pretty good to me.
I think Order have played all the top 3 teams now, though, am I right? So they've had a pretty rough run, and they might be able to make it 3 and 3, depending on how the next couple of days go as well. Because once, of course, we get to the 7th day of games, that means everyone's played each other at least once, and we can move on to the next one. Speaking of tomorrow, let's have a quick look at what matches are coming through there. Peace and Gravitas. I don't know how Gravitas is going to fare if Peace keep playing with this level of power in the Rift. And look, good luck. Good luck to Gravitas. 7 p.m, Mammoth and Kanga. Another chance for Kanga to get another win on the board, but Mammoth, we know what they're capable of, even though their win streak has come to an end. 8 p.m, Chiefs and Pentanet. That will be a scorcher if Pentanet play out of their minds and Chiefs drop the ball. Chiefs, however, of course, we know what they're capable of, so I'm looking at that as probably the game of the day already. And then at 9 p.m, we've got Direwolves and Order, who are tied on the leaderboard. But in terms of performance that we've seen from both these teams, I feel like Order's looking to be a huge favourite into that one, Skinny.
Yeah, it just feels like this night, it feels like the schedule is scaling into the late game. As the night goes on, the games just get better and better and better. And yeah, I mean, you're quite right. I would definitely rate Order as the favourites going into that one. But it's much like the discussion I raised for Kanga, right? I feel like Direwolves, when they do click, when they do feel that they found what works for them, they can certainly give Order a run for their money. So I really, I need to think about this one as to who are tipping that game.
It's really hard. That's one of the really difficult ones, especially if Order aren't playing well. Now, of course, we didn't get to do it because we were behind schedule all day. So from the fans, it's back. You guys sent in so many questions, so hopefully we'll get to them tomorrow. But we'll also get to a couple right now. So let's have a look at what is going on the Twitter sphere. What you want to know from us, from our life coaches here on the desk. The White Whale, are dating sites actually helpful? And at what point in your life would you recommend using one? Now, when you say sites, I'm wondering if that...
Does that include apps?
Yeah, does it include apps? Because I met the love of my life, which wasn't Zeri, of course, on a dating app. Probably the most popular one, but we're not going to give them free air. Now, Rusty, how about you? Do you use dating sites?
No, I don't. I have, but I don't think they're good.
Okay.
I would say...
Didn't work.
I would say, to be more specific, and I haven't done this, dating sites are better than dating apps, right? Like, I think a lot of the generic popular apps are just set up to fail with a lot of, like, what people are looking for on those sites. Also, shout out to the social guy who cannot help here. But the sites themselves are like, I don't remember the names of them all, man. I don't use them. They seem more catered to like actual relationship finding.
Yeah, I feel like they could work. I think I've seen some stories of them working, but usually it's like for older people. I'm thinking like 30 plus, which I'm now in category of. Let's move on. Hey, let's go on to the next one. Fortunately, I've already found love, so that's good. Now, Jazz Lottie, my lovely LCO talent. How do you make friends in 2022? I don't know, go on TikTok and just like look at lots of TikToks or something, right? Gimme?
Just go on TikTok.
We got
Yeah.
so spoiled from like school and university if you went right, because it's just so easy when you're there. It progressively gets harder because, you know, your crew just keeps breaking apart. If you skip, you know, you go from primary school to high school, maybe you go to separate schools and you leave
Yeah.
high school, at least half your friend group just never talks to you again. Then you go to uni and then half the time you're just never showing up to your classes because you're just going to watch them at home instead. It just gets harder and harder, but I suppose now more than any, given there's a pandemic, yeah, just find things that you're interested in, right? Those hobbies. So if you can get a chance to go outside and attend some classes, try something different.
Yeah.
Or if you are a big gamer, then get amongst in Discords. I see lots of these Discords popping off. I know a lot of people are part of like, you know, these like Twitter fan club cliques and get amongst it on there. So there's ways. There's definitely ways.
Yeah,
You gotta open yourself up a little bit, right?
Yeah, you could use those Twitter spaces that everyone seems to love. I've never heard a negative word about them. And also, like, Omegle, it's dangerous, but you could go on there and maybe
True.
find some new friends.
No.
That's some.
No, the answer is hobbies.
Hobbies. Yes,
Find a hobby that
hobbies.
you like, find people that like the hobbies you like. That's your in.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, speaking of ins, we've got to jump into question number 3 and see what's going on over here. It is our good friend, Manic Monday. My moustache essentially looks like I took some eyeliner and just dragged it along my upper lip. Tips and trips. Mate, okay, so tricks, not trips. But yeah, I guess genetics is a good start. And if you do not like your facial hair, you are very free to shave it. But if you want a moustache, I guess just keep shaving until it eventually gets thick enough. Your body goes, hey, you know, it's getting thicker, it's getting better, and then eventually it may grow out and be good. But the issue is with a lot of people is some people just can't grow moustaches.
That's what I
Rob,
do, Mac.
I feel like Manic should be able to grow
I feel
a
like
moustache.
he has the beard genes in him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a beard. I like his beard that he rocks, but
Yeah.
I've never. Maybe I have seen him with a little bit of a moustache one November or
Oh,
something.
I mean, next time we see him, we're definitely just gonna be staring at his upper lip.
Yeah. I don't know. Kitty,
on
do you know
there.
anything about like moustaches or how to grow them?
Speaking from personal experience, yes, I do. No, I'm joking, but
I'm here just to balance it out with Kitty, right? We're just both we're clean cut, clean shaved.
very clean.
Okay, well, we got a couple of scruffy blokes, we got some clean-cut individuals, and we're all going to be going to have a sleep because that's it for day number 1 of week number 3. We've got a second day to get to. You saw the games that are on tomorrow. Be there or be square. Love you. Goodbye.
Completed items to 1. Piglet.
Here we go, Liv jumps in once again. Piglet with a one-man ult, turns things around, go God into Asia. But look at Liv on the side, he has no flash, he has no dash, he's dead, he's gone. Now looking for a second kill, straight on towards another target. Now, Chongi's turn to go gold, and Lemus turns around, he has no lifesteal, the Moonlight Vigil was not enough. It's a double kill for Piglet. Here we go. They turn the on switch, only thinks he's the one jumping forward, but actually, they're gonna get collapsed upon. It's a trap! Chongi not going to get hit by the orange charge, but it does not matter. As Zoom top lane, Predator, meanwhile, he wants to pick up a blue buff. Forget the team fight, I'm playing a completely different game. It's solo player, and Balkan is still saying, where is my team? He's got the gold trigger, he's now got the backup. The reinforcements are here. Yuri's flashed away the last minute, Infernal Chains will expire. Now putting the damage onto Corporal, he's gone. He is just deleted. That's a big part of their engage. Now comes in Balkan to show you how you really do engage. He locks in place 1. He flashes onto Puma. He's going to take down the center 1v1. That's a shutdown found. PGG are doing it. It's another kill here. Found by Yuri. Around Whoop to guarantee that there is no place to run or hide. It's going to get close though before the tally rocked up. It wasn't falling down that quickly. At least he gets knocked into the team. He's in smite range. He's still
He's
the
in
Baron. You're
range.
kidding me. You are absolutely kidding me. How on earth have Peace done this? They are going to kill everybody. They are screaming in their player cams. And it's a quadra kill for Cheon. Put some respect on this man's
Does the
name.
Elder get him? It's a penta.
It's a penta. It's the first of the year. Aphon's happy because they picked up their Herald. And that is just diving towards Kyose, who's already burnt the ult, Rusty. He's in a lot of trouble. He needs to get aggro into Reef Fury. A beautiful flash away. as clean as it comes, but there's a minion wave, and now he's running!
Oh no, Yosei sees Refury leave.
He wants a one-shot. He really wants to try and take them out underneath this turret. The aggro device is gone!
He gets both.
No! Double stasis, you're kidding me? Line it up, Everfrost, and another clip it, ship it,
Got him.
Jose. The absolute giga jump.
We haven't really seen anything from Zoranus or Tron the Pom yet. A couple of plays. What is that noise?
I have no idea, and I was going to
Please
ask
stop. Has got 2 completed items to 1. Piglet.
Here we go, Liv jumping in once again. Piglet with a one-man ult, turn things around, go golden into his danger. But look at Liv on the side, he has no flash, he has no dash, he's dead, he's gone. Now looking for a second kill, straight on towards another target. Now, Chongi's turn to go gold, and Linus turns around. He has no lifesteal, the Moonlight Vigil was not enough. It's a double kill for Piglet. Here we go. They turn the on switch, only thinks he's the one jumping forward, but actually, they're gonna get collapsed upon. It's a trap! Chongi not going to get hit by the orange charge, but it does not matter. As in top lane, Predator, meanwhile, he wants to pick up a blue buff. Forget the team fight, I'm playing a completely different game. It's solo player, and Balkan is still saying, where is my team? He's got the Gorge Trigger, he's now got the backup. The reinforcements are here. Yuri's flash away at the last minute, Infernal Chains will expire. Now putting the damage onto Corporal, he's gone. He is just deleted. That's a big part of their engage. Now comes in Balkan to show you how you really do engage. He locks the